Don't think too much about anyone, because the ones who lose sleep over others are often the ones forgotten when they need someone the most. Sometimes, the ones who laugh the loudest are the ones hiding the deepest pain. Sometimes, the hearts that love the most are the ones that end up shattered in silence. And sometimes, you must lose everything you gave away, just to find the peace you forgot to hold on to, yourself. There once lived a boy named Rudra, a soul so alive, so filled with laughter and boundless energy, that his presence felt like sunlight after a storm. To the world, Rudra wasn't just a person, he was warmth, he was joy, he was hope. Wrapped in human skin, he made people smile on days when they couldn't even speak. He remembered birthdays others forgot. He showed up when no one else did. He was the first to offer help and the last to ask for it. But no one ever stopped to ask, what happens to the giver when no one gives back? From childhood to college, Rudra carried the same rhythm, the rhythm of sacrifice. He skipped his own study hours to help others prepare. He gave his pocket money to friends in need, telling them, it's nothing. He organized celebrations, cheered up the broken, gave his heart away in pieces, until one day, there were no pieces left, because no one tells you that even the kindest hearts bleed when they're ignored. Then, everything changed. Rudra fell ill, not just a passing sickness, but a condition that landed him in a stark, white hospital room, alone with beeping machines and unanswered questions. As he lay in that bed, his phone lay silent, no texts, no missed calls, no footsteps down the hallway, only silence, a silence so loud, it broke him. The people he had once carried were nowhere to be found, and in that emptiness, something inside Rudra finally cracked. But sometimes, when something breaks, something stronger grows in its place. When Rudra returned home, he didn't become cold. He didn't become angry. He became aware. He began to understand the painful truth. He had spent his whole life filling other people's cups, while his own had been running dry for years. So he changed, not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. He still smiled, but it wasn't to please others. He still helped, but only when his own heart felt full. He still cared, but without the need for anything in return. And in this quiet transformation, Rudra discovered something powerful. Himself. He picked up a pen and poured his silence into words. Words that bled truth. Words that echoed pain. Words that carried pieces of the boy who once gave everything away, and now had something of his own. His writings traveled. A blog, a book. People found themselves in his pages. Strangers wrote to him, "Your story saved me." And one day, at a book event, a young woman approached him with tears in her eyes. She said, "I used to think loving others meant forgetting myself. But after reading your words, I remembered I matter too." Rudra smiled, a quiet smile, the kind that doesn't need applause. And he replied, "I once drowned in everyone else's needs, but now I breathe in my own worth. And that has made all the difference." That evening, he sat by the river, watching the sky melt into twilight. The wind whispered softly, and in its breeze, he understood. Some endings are not punishments. They are reminders that solitude is not loneliness. It is space for healing. That being alone is not the same as being empty. From that day forward, Rudra no longer begged for presents. He no longer clung to people he no longer tried to prove his worth to those who never saw it, because now he had found someone worth fighting for. Himself. Moral of the story: if you give without pause, love without limits, and expect nothing in return, you must also learn this truth: you are not selfish for choosing yourself. Real peace begins not when others love you, but when you finally love you. People will forget. Time will pass. But your self-worth must never be something you negotiate with anyone. So don't think too much about those who make you feel small. Don't chase those who leave you in silence. Live your truth. Protect your peace. And above all, love yourself. Fully, deeply, and without apology. Because in the end, when all the lights go out, and the world grows quiet, the only person who will stay beside you. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing to our channel. Let these stories be your reminder. You're not alone. You matter, and your story isn't over yet. Stay strong, stay inspired, stay true.